This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning.
Well, if you are a homeowner, there have been some changes in the HVAC industry regarding refrigerant, which, that might not mean that much to you. I know for me, it's like, okay, cool. But for the people who can break that down and explain that to you better is, of course, Lacey Coleman and Tim. You are joining us as well, Tim Chesley, and you guys are with Coastal Comfort. And HVAC is your industry. You know it inside and out. So what are these changes and what do they mean for homeowners?
Definitely. So we always have new regulatory changes in our industry. It's always evolving, meeting government regulations and standards. And for several years, and a lot of homeowners have already learned about this because we went from the transition from R22 refrigerant to 410A refrigerant. Now we're going through it again. The goal is to have the refrigerant be more environmentally friendly.
Makes sense.
So I brought Tim on today because he's in the field meeting with customers one-on-one and really addressing their concerns. So we just want to start with explaining what is refrigerant.
Refrigerant is the chemical within the system that deals with heat transfer. So it stores energy. It helps to provide the heating or the cooling within the space of the house.
Makes sense.
Yep. So right now we are seeing some of the first pieces of equipment we're installing with the 454B, which is the newest refrigerant. So we just want to talk about what that means for homeowners, what they should expect, and any concerns that you're hearing from consumers in the field.
Right. So I think right now we're still in the really early stages of the transition to 454B. So particular concerns have been kind of few and far between so far. The number one thing is there's a flammability rating with the new refrigerant. And really I don't think that that's anything that should really be a major concern to homeowners. It does have a rating. There's an A2L rating, which is mildly flammable.
Okay.
So we do. Our technicians are going through particular training. Everybody that works for us in the field, and the manufacturers are putting more safeties built into the system. So they're going to sense if there's any refrigerant leaks and do something about it if there is. Again, it's a mildly flammable, so very, very difficult to ignite.
Sure. Good to hear.
Right. Yeah, the concern of, oh my goodness, is something major going to happen? It's not. It's just not really possible with the low rating that it does have.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been one of the concerns. I think a lot of concerned rumors, kind of circling around that, but we really just want to address that. All of our technicians, and I'm sure lots of other companies are going through the same thing. Our team will be prepared. We'll have the proper tools and the protocols, as well as the manufacturing putting in those extra safeties to kind of bring peace of mind and reduce the concerns. Also, there's concerns about 410A, which most of the systems, I think around 2013 or so, 410A became the industry standard in what we were installing. And we still have probably like a year or so as we go through the transition here before we start seeing all of the systems being 454.
Yeah, so we've started on with Carrier, our particular brand. They've transitioned their standard options. Their Comfort Series line has started to transition to the new refrigerant, but it could be as long as a year from now until all manufacturers and all lines have transitioned to the new refrigerant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but one thing we want to make sure that homeowners have peace of mind about and can buy confidently over the next year while we go through this transition is that 410A is expected to be around at least through 2036. So through the lifespan, a typical lifespan is 12 to 15 years. So that's when we expect it to stop being manufactured, but then we'll still have what's on the market. So we'll have it beyond that. We don't have an exact date.
Sure.
But we can confidently say whatever we install now, if you had a new system installed within the past year, if you have one installed in the next year that still has this 410A refrigerant, that you don't have to worry. You can still have your system serviced, repaired, all of those things with the 410A without worry that you'll have to replace your system prematurely because it's no longer available on the market. And that's something we definitely want to be able to communicate as well as a concern is coming through.
Absolutely. I mean, clearly you guys know exactly what you're doing and how to put homeowners at ease. I think there's, a lot of weight was just lifted off a lot of shoulders when they're like, oh my gosh, do I have to replace my whole system with this new refrigerant? And to hear that that's not necessarily the case is, I think, again, a huge relief for a lot of homeowners. So for people who maybe do need an update or an upgrade or some sort of replacement, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so they can always give us a call, 302-629-4700. They can also visit our website, coastalcomfort.com. And the next few days, I'll have a designated designated webpage, which will be coastalcomfort.com/refrigerant. It'll be dedicated to all of the information regarding the refrigerant changes, what to expect as a homeowner, industry, expectations and everything. So we really just want everyone to be informed that it's really not a big thing. We've been through it before. Some homeowners still have R22 and still learning about the transition. So it's coming whether we like it or not, but it's okay. We're ready to handle it.
Yes, these are the pros that are prepared to handle it for you, and you're in good hands when you're with Coastal Comfort. Well, thank you guys for coming in and keeping us informed and updated and putting a lot of viewers and homeowners at ease. I know they appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Yep. Don't go anywhere though, because we're taking a tour of some homes when we get back.